Teresa, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Scott and I are going to jump out of here for a minute because we got to talk about
I have to
some
switch
business.
my Zoom. Give me.
So as soon as you get on, and Teresa, I'm going to pass it off to Teresa, and we're going to let her do her great training. Okay.
She's going to, by the way, while she's getting her Zoom ready,
Okay.
we have the link for episode 3 in the chat right now. You guys can click that. You can queue it up. It might be the best one we've done. I know we're a little biased over here, but it might be the best one that we've done. And I think the next one that we do live is going to be even better as well. So I just wanted you guys to know that. And while we're waiting for Teresa, I have to say this: I don't know how well you folks know some of the folks on this call, but we are fortunate and blessed to have Teresa and Misha both with us, folks. I don't know if you have realized this, but Teresa is an author. She is a certified coach, life coach. She is a speaker. There are many, many things that she brings to the table, and this is what I love about what we do is we can have all of the strengths here, or the boxes that you see on the screen will have your chance to help someone, to influence someone, to rub off on someone. And so that's what I love. And by the way, so just when after, just know that when she gets on here and she absolutely crushes it, take notes, be attentive, but not only that, start thinking, hey, what is a skill I have that maybe I can get up here and share with someone? It doesn't necessarily have to be about the industry. It can just be about positivity. It can just be about work ethic. It could be about discipline or morals or whatever it is. But the point is, I want to make sure that we all understand that we're all in this together. This is a group effort. And I wanted you guys to realize the kind of people that we have here, man. It is unbelievable. So Teresa, we appreciate you so very much. And we're looking forward to gleaning from your words of wisdom. So folks, turn your cameras on, please. Don't be disrespectful unless you have to be. And I appreciate you guys. So Teresa, I'll shut up now, and then we're going to jump out for a couple seconds, and then we'll be right back.
Thank you so much. Siobhan is in the other room. So if somebody, or she's here now. I had
No,
seen
I'm
her.
here. Good morning. Hi,
And then
team.
MJ,
I'm here.
MJ, don't forget to hit record now because we have the guru speaking to us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Scott, for that. And thank you everyone for being here tonight. Let me just adjust my screen so that we can all see it big, because I know it's kind of small right now. And actually today's training is on Americo. How many of you are actually writing with Americo right now? No, maybe some. I can't see everyone, so.
We should if we're not, so this is going to be perfect.
Yeah, I love Americo. Probably my top favorite company.
MJ, can you please hit record, MJ or Jane, on this? It's not recording.
It's already recording.
It is. Okay, then I'll shut up. Thank you.
Okay, let me fix this. So if you're not, how many of you want to, or you just don't do it because you don't know how? And if you don't, then this is perfect, because this is the place to be. And if you are already writing with them, this is just a refresher course for you on another product that we have available for us to share with our customers, with our clients here.
Before I hop off, if you're not contracted with it after this call, put in chat that you need contracting. Jane will send you that contract link. Make sure before you leave today, you get contracted. Okay, go ahead.
Perfect. Let me move this over. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see my screen, but my little mouse is all over the place. All right. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
All right. I can't see. I don't have access to the chat, so I'll just have to, you guys just come off mute if you have any questions, please. And I can't have access to everyone. So today I'm going to talk about Americo, Eagle Select, specifically the main product, which not one of the main products, but a good product for final expense. So if you're not doing final expense, this is the time to look into it, to think about it, because it's something else that you can offer to clients who are older and who are looking to cover their, final expenses, who are looking to leave some money and make sure that they don't leave that debt or that burden to their family when they leave. So This is what's new about the Eagle Select is they do have 3 different levels. So they have Eagle Select 1, which gives you the lowest premiums that you can get. There's Eagle Select 2, which is similar to their Eagle Premier premiums. They're not as low, but they are relatively low. And then they have the Select 3, which gives you a 2-year graded death benefit, lower premiums than a guaranteed issued. This product also has accidental death, which is optional if your client wants that. And the underwriting is so streamlined, it's so easy. I mean, I've just been like, go, and it's so step by step. I'm going to show you exactly how to submit your applications. And the premiums on this product are so much lower than the other, some of the other carriers. So you do get instant underwriting decision, and you do get a policy number as soon as you submit it. So you'll already have that. If you do choose to do an e-delivery or electronic delivery for your client, you do get a policy right away, instantly. There's no amendments. There's no paperwork that you have to do. And the commissions are paid daily. Who likes to be paid daily? Raise your hand. Yes, right? It's like, pay me now. I did the work today, so pay me today. This pays you daily. There's also a bonus that they run. It's a 10% You First cash bonus. So from January to the end of May, which is already going to be ending this session, they do pay you 10% bonus for the You First, which is if you have $50,000 in production, you do get an additional 10%. And the next bonus begins in June. So you have from June to December to be able to qualify for that additional 10% bonus. This is a simplified whole life for final expense. Like I said, the first product is the Eagle Select 1. That's full death benefit as of day 1. So if your client applies today, the premiums are pulled, then they have coverage. This is for ages 40 to 85. They do accept smokers. So if you have any smokers that are clients and you're not wondering, you don't know where to put them at, and you're like, where do I go? Americo does take smokers up to age 85. The face amounts are from $5,000 to $40,000. It's an instant decision, non-medical. So that's great for your older clients. You don't have to do any paramedics, no blood, no urine, nothing. And they do have a quit smoking advantage program. I'm going to share about that with you a little bit later. The second product is the Eagle Select 2, which also has a full death benefit as of day 1. It's from ages 40 to 85. If you're a smoker, you go up to age 75. And the face amounts for this one are $5,000 to $40,000. It's instant decision, again, non-medical, and they do qualify for the Quit Smoking Advantage program. The third product is Eagle Select 3. So it is a 2-year graded benefit period, ages 40 to 75. The face amount is $5,000 to $25,000. It's instant decision, non-medical. Years 1 through 2, they're going to get the sum of the premiums that they paid plus interest equal to the number of months since issue. So they have 3 months, and they'll get those 3 months along with that. If it's 4 months, if it's 5 months, it's 6 months, depending on the number of months since it was issued. Year 3, it's 100% of the face amount. This product, unfortunately, is not available in California or Washington. You could refer to the product availability guide. This is some of the comparison to the other Eagle Premier program that they have there. So if you do have somebody who is age 62 and they qualify for Eagle Select 1, their premiums are going to be $48 a month. On the Eagle program, it's $57.48. So it's about $9 lower, something $9.50, $8.50 lower than the Eagle program. And this example is for a male non-smoker at a $10,000 face value. For the Select 2, if you compare it to the Eagle, same male, 62 years old, their premiums are $60. The Eagle is $57.48. So it is a little bit higher, but they do have other advantages with this one. On the Eagle Select 3, if your client is 62, their premiums would be $88.30, as in comparison to the Eagle guaranteed issued is $139.85. So it's way much lower than that, as you can see here. This is the Quit Smoking Advantage program. So if you do have a client that is currently smoking, you can tell them, okay, smokers receive this Quit Smoking Advantage program. So smokers can receive non-smoker rates for the first 3 policy years. That's incredible, right? And if they provide evidence that they have quit smoking for the last 12 months, they'll continue to receive those non-smoker rates for the life of the policy. So here's an incentive for your client who's been wanting to quit smoking, hasn't been able to, or hasn't really seen why this is the advantage for them. You can tell them, hey, you quit smoking, the carrier is going to give you non-smoker rates, which are so much lower than the smoking rates. So this is a good program to advertise with your smokers.
Can I ask a question real quick, Teresa?
Sure.
Do you know how a person provides evidence of non-smoking for 12 months? Do they have to pretty much be working with a doctor and admitting to the doctor? And
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll have to show the proof that they've been clean or not smoking for 12 months.
I would assume they'd probably take some sort of blood test.
They actually do a mouth swab. So they'll do a mouth swab to the client. They'll have them send it in and they'll mail it back in.
Okay. All right.
Sweet. Thank you.
Sweet and simple. Here's more on the Quit Smoking Advantage program. The example is a 65-year-old male who is a smoker for a $10,000 death benefit. On the Eagle Select 1, if they were to qualify for that, if they had no other medical issues or complications, then for the first 1 to 3 years, and they quit smoking, they'll be paying $54.15 monthly for a $10,000 death benefit. Now, on year 4, if they quit smoking, they're going to stay at that $54.15 with the same $10,000 death benefit. Year 4, if they don't quit, then their premium will stay the same. This is one of the options, right? If they never quit, they have the same premium, but it's a lower death benefit. So they'll still pay the $54.15, except now instead of having $10,000 death benefit, it goes down to $5,424. So almost half of, a little bit over half of, or almost half of what they were paying of their premium, their death benefit, sorry. The other option is if they never quit, their premium goes higher and they get the same death benefit. So they can choose, right? You quit, which is option 1, you never quit, option 2, but your death benefit goes lower, or you never quit, option 3, and your premium goes higher. So as you can see, it's $96.63 there. And then another bonus is if the accidental death benefit is elected on a smoker policy, then the amount is equal to the initial death benefit. So if you do choose the accidental death benefit on there, then they will get paid equal to the initial death benefit. There's an accidental death rider on this. It's available for Eagle Select 1 and 2 only, so not for 3. The cost does have an additional premium, and you can calculate that on your agent tools as you're going along with application. There's no additional underwriting criteria or questions. The death benefit is equal to the face amount of the policy and cannot be changed on the accidental death rider. And common carrier accidental death included at the same benefit amount. There is a child and grandchild rider. This is for level term insurance on an insured child to age 25. It expires on the child's 25th birthday, convertible up to the same face amount of the whole life. The coverage is issued in units of $1,000 and must be same for all the children. So they have 1, 5, it has to be the same coverage. The cost is $1 per child per month for $5,000 in coverage. And any ineligible child is any natural child, a stepchild, legally adopted, or a child if, they get the base insured, natural child, stepchild, or legally adopted child. This is available for Eagle Select 1, 2, and 3. Additional benefits that are automatically included are the accelerated benefit. So if your insured is diagnosed with a qualified terminal illness that results in life expectancy of 12 months or less, they can get up to 50% of the death benefit in advance. So that's a huge advantage. And this is included at no additional cost on the Eagle Select 1 and 2. There's an accidental death provision. If the death occurs as a result of an accident during the graded death benefit period, the full death benefit is payable. And it's included an additional charge as well on Eagle Select 3 only. The underwriting, like I said, is streamlined. It's so simple. The questions are easy to answer. There's no risk pre-assessment needed. And the application is actually going to sort it out for you. So as you're going along answering the questions, it's going to, tell you what you need, and it's actually going to do it for you. So you don't have to figure out and wonder and know how to do all the medical lingo, especially for all the new agents here. It's easy to do. There's additional medical history section in case you do ask if the client has diabetes or they're dealing with some disease or some ailment, then there are additional questions that are going to pop up on the screen. As soon as you say that this client does have diabetes, there are going to be additional questions that are going to be asked there, and you can answer them right away. And if they find something on their MIB, additional questions will actually come up and ask you. So these are the underwriting tips that you can actually see on the Americo website. And as soon as you're done with the application, and you can either do it through remote, you can do it in person, you can, get this to your client. As soon as you open this page, when you submit it, this page is going to come up and initial underwriting is complete, right? So now they're giving them the options. So if your client qualified for what you applied for, they're going to get option 1, which is the face amount of $10,000 and the monthly premium of $44.42, right? This is actually if they didn't qualify for what you applied for, right? They're going to get additional options. So it's not just going to be a simple no, a simple decline. They're actually going to work with you then and there so that you can have options for your client. And you can say, okay, client, so you didn't get qualified for that, but there is another option for you. There's a $10,000 face amount. The new monthly payment is $44.42. Do you accept it? Yes or no? Or there's an option 2. A new face amount of $7,593. The new monthly premium is $34.64. Do you want to accept that? So they can either take option 1, option 2, or withdraw their application.
Teresa, is the MIB report the only report that's run to qualify?
Yes.
Okay.
And what's great about this is you can do a signature option, right, through text. So you tell your clients, especially since we're all doing remote sales, you tell your client, okay, you're going to receive a code as a text. Can you read that code out to me? You input the code. They're going to put in their last 4 of their social security to be able to access the code. Once they get the code, they're going to read the code out to you, which is 6 digits. You put that into your system, and then it continues. And they could continue as well with the signature. Super simple, super easy. This is the text message that actually goes out to them, where they get to view it. They click on it, put in the last 4 of their social security number, and then they receive the code, which they're going to read out to you. Like I said, it's fast and easy. It also, they can do changes to their bank draft if they choose to. This is the number for Americo, 855-248-8327. You can be on the call with them if you choose to. I usually do that just so that the client can know that I'm actually speaking to the company and I'm a part of the carrier. It saves you time and it doesn't confuse the client, especially if they're a little bit older, right? And it helps you to keep more business. It helps you to stay connected to your client. You can also go to tools.americoagent.com. These are all your agent tools. You can do practice on the apps. You can look at other products that they carry. There's a lot of videos. There's a lot of training. It's super simple, super easy. You can go to tools-demo.americoagent.com as well to do practice applications. And here's the number for agent services, 800-231-0801. Now, I kind of went through that a little bit quick because I want to get into showing you how to submit the application, which is what's coming up next. Super easy to follow. All you have to do is read. Don't forget to read the questions that it's asking you fully so that you can answer it to the best of your ability, to the best knowledge that you get from the client. Okay, so as soon as you go into your Americo agent portal, it's going to ask you for the state. So you're going to select the state. You're going to either put the age or the date of birth of your client. You can do either one. And if you want to go along with me right now, that'd be great. You can open up on your other screen, not on the screen you're watching this, on your other screen, and play along with me. So the first one is going to be that. Then it's going to ask you for male, female, their height, their weight, social security number. It's going to ask you to confirm the social security number, place of birth. If they were born in the United States, if they were born in another country, it's going to allow you to place the country they were born in. And it's going to ask who Will the valued insured, because they call them value insured, also be the policy owner? So if you put yes, that'll be yes for number 7. This tells you, there's other places where they were born that you can put in there. It's going to ask for the street address, mailing address if it's different. There it is. Have they lived at their current address for less than 6 years? You're either going to put yes or no. Please provide their email address. Would you like your policy and other documents delivered through electronic delivery or mail delivery? You're going to put that in there. They're going to ask for the phone number. Make sure you confirm a cell phone number, because they are going to be sending, especially if you're doing remote sales for electronic, they are going to get that sent to a cell phone.
Hey, Teresa,
Yes.
do you have an option of doing both electronic and hard copy delivery?
I've only done either or. I'm not sure. You can call the company though. Once you've done the electronic, you can probably call and say, hey, can I request to have a paper delivery to my client?
Okay. What do you find most of your clients prefer, electronic or hard copy?
I myself, I like hard copies. I don't like electronic because I want them to get something in the mail. Like I just got one of my clients, I put it over there. I like them to have paper to hold, because when it's electronic, we forget about it. But when they see a paper, they're like, oh, I actually do have something and I'm going to take care of it. All right. So I prefer a paper copy over electronic all the time. So then it's going to ask you to validate your insured's info. All you're going to do is click on the validate insured info. It's going to validate it. Then you're going to go into product information. So what product are you applying for? You're going to choose Eagle Select. You're going to put the face amount on number 2. And it's going to ask, has the valued used any nicotine products within the last 12 months? If it's yes, it's yes. If it's no, it's no. Should the automatic premium loan feature be added? I would say yes. That feature means that if for whatever reason they do not pay their premiums that month and they do have some added cash value in there, then they'd be able to pay it through that. Right? It's still going to be paid until they get that payment complete. So I would add that. Doesn't cost any additional fee. Just add it in there for them. Number 4. So here where it says the nicotine, this is going to pop up. And it's going to tell you what products it includes, right? Tobacco, snuff, alternative nicotine, delivery, whatever's included as nicotine. We're going to do the automatic premium. Yes. Any riders, accelerated benefit payment rider, click yes. If you want any optional riders and benefits, then you click on that. The next one is number of children, if they're going to include children's riders. The face amount here for the children. This one says the birthday, if it's birthdays within the past 30 days, would you like to backdate to save age? You can do that. The next one here, now you get into the medical information. So has a member of the medical profession ever diagnosed you with, or have you ever tested positive for any of the listed conditions? Make sure you read each line carefully, because sometimes, we kind of skim through it really quick, or we think we know another application from another carrier and your client could get declined. Speaking from experience. So just read each line carefully. So it's going to ask you here within the last 5 years. And this is what's really important, is because sometimes it'll ask you, here it's within the last 5 years. I know for other carriers, sometimes it'll ask you within the last 2 years, and then it'll change to within the last 1 year, and then within the last 6 months, right? So that's why it's very important that you do read each question carefully so that you can give the best answer to make sure your client qualifies for what they're applying for. So within the last 5 years, has a member of the medical profession consulted with you, provided care or treatment, or prescribed medication for any of the listed conditions? You're going to check all that apply, right? This is number 1. AIDS, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, stroke. It's going to continue there, right? Pancreatitis, liver disease, whatever it is, check it off. It's going to continue there, right? Or you can put none of these apply to me. Simple. Number 2, within the past 12 months, have you been advised by a member of the medical profession or have tests, surgery, or hospitalization, except for those related to HIV or AIDS, which have not been completed, or are you awaiting for a medical diagnosis or results of medical tests or procedures which have not been received, or you currently hospitalized? Yes or no? Are you currently or within the past 12 months, have you, right? This is like within the past 12 months. So that's for number 2, been confined to a nursing facility, received hospice care. There's the list, the full list, or none of the above apply to me. And then you're gonna go next into let's get you approved, right? So how would they like to sign? Do they want to sign on a tablet or on a laptop if they're with you in person? So that you're gonna choose option 1, remote signing through text delivery if you're doing remote sales, or remote signing through email delivery, either one. I've had some clients who are not, they're like, I'm not tech savvy, so they don't know how to access their email. It's easier through text. There's some who don't know how to text, it's easier through email. I just ask the customer what's their preference, what's going to work best for them so that you can actually complete the sale. All right, so they get, let's say they choose tablet or laptop, right? Next, it's going to give them, then if they're with you in person, you're going to hand over either your tablet, you're going to hand over your laptop so that they can sign this, right? It's going to be electronic signature, but it's going to be with you in person. This is the next form that's going to come out so that they can consent to the electronic signatures. At the end, they're going to say, I agree to use electronic records and signatures, continue. You go, and then you're going to go to the medical disclosure information authorization. That's the next form that's going to come up. They're also going to sign it. Make sure that they sign their complete name, no initials. It's going to look like this because obviously, you know, it's a little hard to do it with the mouse and the pad and trying to sign, but as make sure that it is their complete name. You click on the apply button. And then you can also view the signed forms if you want to. If you want to go back, you're going to go up here to where their name is at, where it says valued client at the top. The little arrow is going to drop down. You can look at the case status, so you can review their information before you submit it. If you choose to review it, or if they say, oh, you know what, I forgot to tell you, I went to the doctor for this, or I have this, then you can go back, click on the section you want to go to, and change the information, you know, or just take a look at it, make sure that it is correct.
Can you show that again real quick? How
Yep.
you go to that screen?
So this one, you're just going to click on their name at the top. So where the green box is here,
Oh,
your name is going to show up. So on this one, you can see it better. See how it says valued client?
so you just clicked on the green box and that opened?
Well, you click on the valued client and there's going to be an arrow, and the arrow is going to drop down the case. There's going to be a drop down menu, and you're going to choose case status. And on case status, it'll give you all the pages you can go back into.
Okay.
So we're going to do view signed forms. Okay, they view them. Now they need to gather information, right? So we're going to keep going. If they say they had, for instance, diabetes, right? So the next question is going to ask you, have you had complications? What was the date of the diagnosis? Here's more list of the complications. If they say they had some type of cancer, it's going to ask you additional cancer questions or additional questions about what you put that they had. So here it's going to say how many years since your diagnosis of cancer. You're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 5+. Has your cancer recurred or spread to another location? Yes or no? Have you ever had 2 different types of cancer? Yes or no? Right? So it's going to ask you the additional follow-up questions that go with what you put in there. Was your cancer in any of the following? Was it ovarian, pancreatic, brain, bone, multiple myeloma, mesothelioma, right? So you're going to keep going on that. Then it's going to do the same thing. Once you click submit, it's going to give you initial underwritings complete, and it's going to give you either accepted as applied for, or it's going to give you the 2 different options, right? New premium for requested face amount. Your client can accept it, or new face amount for requested premium. They can accept that one, or they can withdraw the application completely. So some of the reasons why it would give them different offers is because what's included in the MIB or some of the answers that they gave to the health questions. Okay, the next one we're going to do So the next is going to take you to, do they already have insurance, existing insurance in place? It's either going to be a yes or a no. It's either going to be a yes or a no. And then will this replace that current policy? So yes or no. Is gonna same thing. Is it replacing it? No. The next one is gonna ask you who should be the beneficiaries on this insurance. So you can select the beneficiary. Is it primary? Is it contingent? The percentage of the share, their full name. You can put in as much information as possible. Their date of birth, their phone number. Is it a spouse, child, aunt, uncle, brother, sister? What the relationship is there to the valued. You can add more. Where it says on here, it says add new beneficiary. You're going to click on that one and it's going to allow you to add more beneficiaries on that. Okay, now you're going to set up the billing and their payment information. So how should you bill? Eagle Select is always going to be built on a monthly basis. So you're going to choose monthly bank draft. It's all going to be through the bank draft. It's going to tell you the date that you can select there. You can select the date that you want it to be. And it's going to ask you, do you want to change your draft date? And the coverage is not affected until the draft date. So you have to remember to tell your client, if today's the 10th, I can set it up for the 22nd, but you won't have coverage until they actually draft those premiums from your account, which will be the 22nd. So just remember to always let your client know that. Here, do you want to change it to upon issue? Do you want to pick a specific day of the month? Do you want to do Social Security billing? They can also adjust it to when their Social Security comes in. Next one is, when their Social Security is second Wednesday, third Wednesday, fourth Wednesday, whenever it is that it comes in. Who's going to be the payer? You're going to put that information in. Select the following. Is it a client, a spouse? Is the name exactly as it appears on the bank account? Make sure that what they have on their bank statement on their bank is the same thing that you are putting on the payer information. The name as it appears. Middle initial, whatever they have. Is it the same as the bank statement is going to ask you? Then it's going to ask you, is it a checking or a savings account? For the routing number, the account number. And this is for you, the agent. It's going to ask you, are you related to the valued insured? If you are, you're going to put yes. If you're not, then you're going to put no. How long have you known the valued insured? It can be, I just met him yesterday, or they just walked in, or they called me. It's going to ask you, did you approach the valued insured to purchase insurance? Yes or no? Is there any existing life insurance on the proposed insured again? And then it's going to ask you, did the proposed insured directly respond to you regarding each application health question? So did they say yes? Did they say no directly? You're going to put yes. You would be asking them the questions. Then they're going to ask if they have a government issued picture ID. What's their phone number, the email address? Is there an agent split involved in this sale? So are you splitting commissions, or are you getting 100% of the commissions for yourself? And then how will they be signing again? So are they going to sign through text, tablet, laptop? Are they with you? Are they remote? You're going to choose again. How are they signing? We kind of went through this on the other one. And it's going to submit. As soon as it's submitted, you are going to get an instant decision. You don't have to wait. They're going to let you know your client was approved, your client declined, check their MIB, something that was reported. So it's really simple, easy to follow, as long as you read each question and you follow through with that. Are there any questions so far?
Teresa, do you need to show proof of their driver's license or government issued ID?
No, unless they ask you for it. I haven't. So you don't have to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Frequently asked questions, which is a question asked by myself, right? I think for every carrier. Do they accept ITIN, which is individual taxpayer identification number? Yes, they do. So Americo does accept clients with an ITIN. Another frequently asked question, which I already answered, is how soon do I get paid? They pay daily. So as soon as your application is approved and the the premium is drafted from the account, you will get paid. Another frequently asked question that you might have out there, because I only had those two. If you want me to go back to any, I'm going to stop share. This is really the end of of how to submit the application. Like I said, it's really simple. You just have to follow. If you can see up here, it's page 11 of 11. So it's not a, 50 pages, 30 pages. And the questions, as the way you see them here on the screen is the way they are. They're this big, so you don't have to like, what does it say? Where is it? It's simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, you're done. Go next.
Teresa, is there a age maximum?
For this product?
Yes.
There's 85 and 75, depending on which one. I'm going to go back to that one, to the ages here. For the product information. Should be about there. So for the Eagle Select one, which is going to be your preferred status, right? Your Eagle Select is kind of like your preferred. So it's 40 to 85. Eagle Select would be your standard, and then Eagle Select 3 would be your modified plan.
Okay.
So 40 to 85. And like I said, they do take smokers, which is a really great, and I like their, I don't smoke, never have, but for somebody who does, it has a smoker advantage program.
Mm-hmm.
Gives them an incentive.
Explain that program to people that don't know, because this is very unique to Americo.
It's right here, which is so awesome. So smokers can receive non-smoker rates for the first 3 years of the policy without having to prove anything, without having to show anything. The first 3 years, they're guaranteed to get non-smoker policy rates. After that, they do need to provide evidence that they have quit smoking for the last 12 consecutive months. And as JP shared with us, they do a swab on your cheek to be able to prove that you haven't been smoking. So, what better reason to quit smoking?
So this is a great plan for those clients that they've been needing. They say, yeah, I just want to quit. I'm working on it. Well, I said, well, how would 3 years work? Would that give you enough time to get quit? If they say yes, I say, let me show you this plan. It's called Incentivized Quit Smoking. And you get a non-smoker rate for 3 years. After that third year, you need to make sure you've quit smoking for that year, because they're going to do a cotton swab on your cheek and make sure that you've done that, okay? Now, the downside to this, if they don't plan on quitting, their rates get jacked up pretty high, because their smokers' rates are going to be, it's going to be quite a bit more. So, if they just say, yeah, I'm probably not going to quit, then you probably want to write American Amicable, because they have, what I've noticed anyway, maybe someone can tell me if I'm wrong, American Amicable has a it has a smoker's rate that's really not bad. They're probably the better ones I've seen. And then once we get not Lafayette, but we're working on Illinois Mutual, and Illinois Mutual does not even have a smoker's question. So it's the same rate for smokers. They might ask, but it's the same rate for smokers and non-smokers. So we're working on getting that contract later down the road, but this is a good one here. So
I wanted to ask you a question, Teresa. Why Americo? I mean, for my team that we have been very, advanced market stuff, and I know that I complain about the IULE only when it's used for cash growth. Right. But Americo is a good company, and I know that a lot of people write with them. What has your experience been like? Why do you default to them? Why do you use them? I'm just, for the newer folks on here, and even those that are, through MFS that have not really been exposed to this, because we all have, I believe we are all contracted on my team anyway, with that. So can you just, and if you said it, I apologize. That's what I get for double booking my schedule. But
watch the replay. No, just kidding.
Yeah, perfect. That's okay. I can do
that. No, I actually had a client that I had submitted her application through Aetna, because they're like, oh, Aetna's going to qualify her. They declined her.
Yep.
Which is odd because she didn't have it. She was only taking one medication. It wasn't like she had a huge health issues or problems, and they did decline her. So I said, oh my gosh, what am I gonna lie? I thought maybe she lied to me, right? She didn't disclose some medical information. Well, no, she actually was only taking one medication. Put her in through Americo, quick, easy. She got Eagle Select. She got one, right? So she got on preferred.
Teresa, when I was writing all of that business back in the day, and I was doing my veterans insurance, and every time I got denied with Aflac or Aetna, at the time I was using, every time I'd switch over to Americo, and I got approved every time. Now, I didn't have, it was crazy. I don't know how in the world that happened, because obviously I wouldn't do Americo if they told me they had a health condition that Americo wouldn't take. But every time they had the scenario was, I'm healthy, I don't know why I'm getting declined. I always went Americo, and every time I did that, I got approved. So yeah, as long as you're going to know those health questions, and if you know them, I had them, I knew word for word what they were going to be, and I'm like, they're going to get approved. So yeah, America is great for that.
Plus, I like that they have the accelerated benefit for them, right? So if they're qualified or diagnosed with a terminal illness, and they're going to live for less than 12 months, they could access 50% of their benefit in advance.
Nice.
So you can pay living benefit on final expense, right?
Yep.
You can do that in. So remember, I'm not paid by Americo. I am not an exclusive Americo agent, but I do like their product.
There's one big reason, Teresa. Tell them about the incentive program.
I was getting to that.
Oh, girl, I know you were. So tell us about that. That's really powerful.
I have a question though, real quick.
Yes.
For the smokers, does that include the weed smokers?
So it has everything here. So I'm going to read that out. So a non-smoker is defined as anyone who has not used nicotine products in the last 12 months, which includes cigarettes, cigars, pipes, chewing tobacco, snuff, nicotine, chewing gum or lozenges, nicotine patches or e-cigarettes, or any vaporization of liquid nicotine devices. So
weed is not one of them.
Nope. I don't see it now. I don't know. You would have to call them. I would call them and get that answer directly from them.
Okay. I wouldn't consider smoking weed as using tobacco, right? So it's not going to be on the smoking question. The smoking weed will be on a question individually, but not associated with the smoking.
I don't think they do, because my sister-in-law that I wrote, she got accepted, and it never even, if it asked, it didn't make a difference. I don't think it even asked.
I think you're right. I think maybe on the term it does. Maybe, I'm not even sure even on term on these, but I know on the whole life, it's not going to be an issue.
No, they don't, Darren, I don't want to interrupt, but they don't care, because the other day the CEO and I were smoking weed on the beach, so they're good.
Okay. Thank you, Tommy. Okay. Yeah, Teresa, tell us about that incentive program.
So their incentive program, it's the You First bonus program. It's if you have $50,000 in volume between June, so the next program starts in June, from June to December, you do get an additional 10% bonus.
It used to be 8%, and I would get my bonus right at Christmas time. It was really cool. Nothing better than getting about an extra $6,000 to $8,000 bonus right at Christmas, and I would hand that over to my wife, because I wouldn't even tell her. Like, she at some point she'd get to where she's wanting to know about it, like that check-in. But I would go hand that check over to her and say, go enjoy that. What a blessing that was, to know that a company is paying for all of our Christmas. And that was every Christmas. You can count on that $6,000 to $8,000 check that I was getting, because I wrote so much Americo. And I did that for that reason. Like, that was a big reason. I got people approved, and and the fact is, I knew I was going to get an 8 now to 10% bonus that is going. Now, what are the stipulations of that? There are some. You want to tell them what those are?
I don't have that in front of me right now. I couldn't connect to my other computer.
I'll tell you.
Having technical difficulties. But if you go on your Americo portal agent, it's all on there.
It is 60 and 70%. I think it's 60 months. I think it's 60, 70. It might be 70, 80, but I think it's 60, 70. 12 month persistency must be, and then look at it and make sure I'm not misrepresenting. I think it's 60 and 70% for a 9 month, or for 6 months. Look it up before you do. Just know there are some stipulations, meaning you got to maintain a pretty decent persistency, not hard. You should be doing that anyway. So, but yeah, there are some stipulations to it.
Yes. Any other questions, comments, suggestions on how you, if you are currently writing Americo, tips that you can give our agents?
Kind of questions you guys got? I love Americo, guys. Any questions?
I have a question. Siobhan. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Siobhan.
Good morning. Thank you for doing this. I'm really like shocked because I used to write more frequently with Americo, but I'm shocked to hear that they're so approval friendly and liberal because on their accident policy, they decline a lot of people. But you're saying on the natural side, they approve a lot of people. What's been your experience? Do you do ADBs or accident death benefit policies with Americo or no?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So that's why I tend to pivot to Omaha because of that reason. But it's good to know on the natural side they're liberal, but not so much friendly on accident policies. They underwrite people. And I never understood that. But I do appreciate the training. It was good.
Yeah, and I didn't know they did the underwriting on accident either. I've never heard that, Siobhan.
Yeah, they do. They decline people for the accident policy, which is why I've always pivoted to Omaha for their accident policy.
But I'm sure it's not health. It's probably driving records, stuff like that, right? It would be more on that line.
It has to be because I'm thinking, how do you decline someone for an accident policy? But you're right there, and it might be due more to lifestyle than health, if that makes sense.
It's probably more of a driving record. I bet they pull that the driving records of those and look at that because that would be important to know. What was I going to say on that? Go ahead, Teresa. I don't want to say your thing.
No, that's all I have for you. If like I said, go into your agent portal, play with it, practice with your friends, practice on yourself, practice on imaginary people. One of my clients was I need and last name was insurance. So just, create your own profiles and play with it. The best way you're going to get.
I did want to add one thing. So Siobhan and those people that used to write Americo, even when I was writing Americo, they didn't approve everybody like they do now. Let me tell you what's changed. The rates have changed. One, they used to have, I had to write them because I liked all the bonuses and everything about them. So I just wrote them, right? The reality was a lot of our people would come in and write a Mutual of Omaha because it's cheaper. Now, let me tell you what they used to do. They would give everybody the accidental death rider and make you have it, right? They didn't give you the option. So every policy was $6 or $8 higher than if you did the non-accident, right? So you had to explain to them, not only do you get 20,000, but you actually have 40,000 in coverage. 20,000 for this, 20,000 for that. Combined, it's 40,000. But somebody would come in behind you and they say, with Mutual of Omaha, as an example, and say, so you really got $20,000 of insurance. The other accidental, no one ever used that. And I can get it to you for $8 a month cheaper. Would you want to do that? And we would lose. The persistency was difficult at times until you really had to convince them, and call them back and all that. So what they did, and this is over the course of last year, they took off the accidental. Now it's an option. You can add it if you want to, but you don't have to have it. That's real important. And the other thing they did is they added 2 tiers now. And this is what's real important. So before it was 1 tier, a standard across the board. So either you get approved or you don't. Well, now they approve more people because they give you a preferred and a standard rating. And so a lot of times you're typing that application up and it will say, well, they don't approve for this one, but for $22 more a month, we will give them coverage, right? So they they will still cover them. And then they get the option of just adjusting the amount of coverage. Instead of 20, you might take 16,000, but keep it at that same rate. But so they do that now. So what it does, it gets more people qualified than they were doing a year ago. So they've got better rates. Now, when they took off the accidental, the rates are better than Mutual of Omaha. they're actually some of the best rates in the business. So now you can get the best rates, and you can add accident if you don't want, but you don't have to. So you get the best rates, and you get everybody, a lot more people qualified because of the way they changed things. So even though I wrote almost everything Americo back in the day, now it's even much more better than it was because of those two factors I just explained. And they raised their promotions up to 10%.
So that's it. It's
Thank
8
you,
o'clock.
Darren.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you for everyone that contributed and shared. I'm done. I hand it back now to you, Darren.
Good. I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but I just knew I should have worn my Americo shirt today. If you had told me, I would have worn it. And I'm a big fan, guys. I wasn't a big fan, even though I wrote a lot of it. Here's how I would present it. And as a sales guy, you'll figure this out. Sometimes I would sell them like this. I said, well, we're going to try today to put you in the Cadillac of companies, and that's going to be Americo. They're my carrier of choice. I've got my mom and dad were on this with this company. It's who I recommend, and there's so many reasons why. So we're going to start off with the Cadillac of companies. Now their rate's going to be a little bit higher maybe than other ones, but that's okay. You cheap is ugly, and you get what you pay for. And we're going to make sure we get you qualified for the very best. So I used to do that every time, and they were okay with that, right? Now I don't have to do that anymore because they actually do have the best rates, or as good of rates, not the best, but just about as good as anybody out there. So I don't even have to use that anymore. But I used to say that, and it never stopped me. I never had anybody, after I said exactly that, you're going to get the Cadillac of companies. And like that was just my thing. You're going to get the Cadillac of companies. It's a company of choice. It's one I prefer. It's one I've got my parents on. You see the things I'm doing there. So I've attached myself to it, and why it's my parent people I love the most. So it's one I've got. It's one I've got my parents on. It's a Cadillac of companies. And why would I say Cadillac, not the Maserati, right?
Tesla. Tesla is better than Cadillac.
But but it's not. Not to that 60-year-old veteran. Or whatever. He doesn't know Teslas, but what does he know? He knows Cadillacs. He knows Lincoln Town Cars, right, or whatever. He knows that. They 60, 70-year-old men, women, they want the Cadillac of companies. That's what they're looking for. So you got to speak their lingo, their language. And you go Tesla, he's probably hanging up on you. So anyway,
we're like 65 to 80, and I swear everybody drives a Tesla except us. We drive Lexus.
Well, you're not in Oklahoma, sister. In Oklahoma, they don't have charging stations here, so you would be in trouble with the Tesla here. I keep saying I'm going to buy a Tesla whenever, if he comes up with, what do they call the hybrids? I would buy one because I trust putting gas in a car and using electric. But in Oklahoma, if you had an electric car in Oklahoma, if you're I don't know there's not enough charging stations. Like, we would be in trouble if it was mandated that everybody had to. We're not California, that's for sure, and thank God for that. But all right. Didn't mean to get political, but anyway, guys, thanks for being on this call. Teresa, thank you so much, girl. I can't wait to go back and watch the whole recording. And remember, all of our recordings are on American Choice, right? Agents First YouTube channel. So Agents First Insurance. Go back and watch them over and over again. And you know what? When I recruit people, I do this now, and I say, go to YouTube TV and check us out. I say, have you done your research on us? No. Well, why not? We're there. We're an open book. Go to Agents First Insurance, watch some training videos, and then I'm going to call you tomorrow, and we're going to talk about that. And then, so I'm not afraid to put that out there because we're an open book for people to learn. So, hey, good call today. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your weekend. I can't wait to see a bunch of you guys over in Sarasota this next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.